All right, Pepperwood. Did you ever get your demonstration?
Yes, I did. He almost blew me up. Somehow he convinced me into giving him another chance. Promised to show me something once it got dark.
Uh-huh. Then where'd you go, Pepperoni?
I went to my office. I had a script to read.
Uh-huh. Sure you did. What about you, Miss Bondurant?
I had a costume fitting, and then around 7:45 I went to wait for the bus.
Uh-huh. Costume fitting. What about you, Irishman?
Jacob.
No, it's John Waddington. How many times do I have to tell you?
I helped Bobby clean up, and then I went to fetch Mr. Peppercorn for the next demonstration.
Yeah, sure you were. Uh-huh. Look, don't try and play me for a sap. Those alibis ain't worth a bag of gas. Now I got one more question for you, and I want to answer. Here. Whose is this?
Great Caesar's ghost, you beheaded the critter.
Parker, take that down. This geezer here has just identified this mask as being the one worn by our killer.
Mask?
That's right, mask. I found it right outside this building. In fact, I think it's safe to say that our killer is in this room right now. There's also a tag inside of this mask, and I want to read it to you. You want to hear it? I bet you do. To Sid, with thanks from the crew of Man Wolf in Manhattan.
But how did it get here?
Why don't you tell me, pimple popper, huh? It's your mask, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Well, I got an idea, and I'm going to tell you what it is. Here's my idea. Maybe little Miss Sabrina Morgan got into your skin more than you're letting on, huh, Pepperpot, huh? Maybe you realized you had to stop her in pronto before she opened your closet. All your skeletons started spilling out into the funny pages.
That's not true. I was in my office.
You weren't in your office when I came looking for you.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Detective, but does Mr. Peppercorn look like he could commit a murder like this? What happened to the body? He certainly couldn't have carried it off.
Yeah, he had motive. He had, opportunity. And he had the mask.
If you don't need me anymore.
If I don't need you? What do you mean if I don't need you? I'm in the middle of a criminal investigation, sweetheart. What, you got a garden party to go away? Sure! The script page, Parker! Yeah. You recognize this?
Maybe Miss Morgan did tear my script.
Oh, sure, I'm getting the picture. You had to stop Miss Morgan in pronto before she squared your deal with old Corncob here, didn't you?
Me?
Yeah, you. Don't bat the baby blues at me, sister. Sure. You stole the blanket from the Irishman, yeah. Then you stole the mask from old Corn Crib, huh? And in your fearsome disguise, you stalked the innocent Miss Morgan, sure. I don't know what you did with a Corpus Delicious, honey, but I'm telling you, you made the amateur's mistake you underestimated. Little Johnny Waddington.
That ain't right. The beastie was huge.
Besides, I spoke with Mr. Peppercorn after Miss Morgan left, and he said the part was mine no matter what Sabrina Morgan had to say.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, you're playing square with me? Yeah, all right. All right, you should have told me that before, sister. Spared yourself all this embarrassment. Yeah, what are you looking at? I can feel your eyes boring into the back of my neck. Yeah, you two, shut up. Hey, wait a minute. Wait just a minute here.
No, sir, it wasn't me.
Oh, yeah, sure it was. She realized you weren't a real Irishman. It dawned on her, so she gave you the sack, huh?
Why would I want to kill Miss Morgan, especially wearing a silly get-up like that?
I don't know, maybe you're just silly. Ever think about that, huh? Sure, it was your blanket, and you stole the mask from old Corncob over there. What'd you do with the body?
I swear I never touched her.
Oh, yeah? Can you prove to me you weren't on Boot Hill at 8 o'clock?
No, I was looking for Mr. Peppercorn.
Mr. Peppercorn again.
Mr. Peppercorn's secretary can verify if Jacob was at the office.
Verify. Yeah, we'll do some verifying before the day is done. Peppercorn. Peppercorn, Peppercorn, Peppercorn. I'm sick of a name, Peppercorn. It's drumming in my ears. Where were you?
I was on my way to meet with Bobby. I must have just missed Jacob.
I don't know how I missed you.
I don't need to answer to a chauffeur. I'm the head of a major studio.
I want to know where you were, Peppercorn, huh? The guards couldn't find you.
I'm not on trial here.
Maybe you should be on trial here, Peppercorn. You walked in the door, you stunk of guilt. I can smell it on you.
That's ridiculous.
Miss Morgan did say she'd go to the press, and Mr. Peppercorn looked nervous.
He looks nervous now, too.
That's not true.
Huh?
You like your job here?
None of that high hat stuff, Peppercorn. It ain't gonna wash with me. I want to know one thing, and that's about the mask. Who else knew it was in your office?
anyone else who's been there.
Oh, yeah, and somebody can just breeze into Sidney Peppercorn's office and lift that mask right off the desk. I don't think so, Peppercorn. Parker, book 'em. We're going downtown. Oh, please. Don't give me any of that phony heart attack stuff. Hey, you're as bad as the rest of your actors.
Are you gonna arrest him?
You bet I am.
Are you sure?
Do you have some information?
Who, me?
Come on, Bobby, do you know something?
I was just trying to impress Mr. Peppercorn, so I decided to put together a monster. I saw the mask in his office, and I borrowed Jacob's blanket to make as a cape.
My blanket?
Well, I was gonna give it right back, but I didn't think you'd miss it for a little while.
Go on.
That's when I bumped into Miss Morgan. She made me... Well, it was all her dumb idea.
Whoa!
Amateur.
Sabrina, you're alive!
Of course, Sidney. I told you I'd get even. Nobody tosses me away like yesterday's trash. It was all so easy, really. First, I just had to convince this idiot to play along. But he wasn't supposed to chase me until Sidney showed up. Instead, this old geezer saw the whole thing. When he left to call security, I just slipped away.
You're an evil woman.
I learned from the best, Sidney.
So, the great Sabrina Morgan. I've been waiting for you, Miss Morgan. Oh, sure, I had it figured for an act right from the get-go.
A brilliant performance. If only someone with better eyesight had seen it.
Yeah, well, Miss Morgan, I'm taking you downtown. You and Bobby both.
For what? Acting? That's what we do on movie sets.
But, Miss Morgan, I never chased you down to Boot Hill. I couldn't get the mask off. I kept bumping into things.
Excuse me?
I never left the blacksmith shop until these guys started chasing me.
Then who chased Miss Morgan?
I can see it all now.
What?
My next feature, starring you. We'll call it Blood. Blood on the Back Lot.
Can I have a job?